Welcome back, friends. So in the last video, we talked about the personal narrative story roller coaster. We talked about how last week we started by introducing our characters and setting, and how today we are talking about the middle of our story where there's a problem or exciting event. So I'm going to show you the graphic organizer choices that you had and show them how I filled them out for my story. You might remember in my story, the problem or exciting event that happened was when I fell out of the kayak. That was very scary. So first I completed the volcano map. So the reason why it's called a volcano map is because it shows the volcano with our personal narrative story curve. And just like how the middle of our story is where the problem or exciting event happens, that is where our volcano is erupting. So that's the problem or exciting event. The way that this graphic organizer works is that you can write in sentences to explain what happened in your story. So the sentence starter says, the problem or exciting event in my story was, and I wrote, when I fell out of my kayak and into the water. I was in the kayak alone, but my brother was close by. I tried to paddle, but the kayak tipped over and I ended up in the water. So I answered the question, who was there? I told about my brother. What happened? I told my audience that I fell out of my kayak and into the water. Notice, friends, when you're writing about your problem or exciting event, you're just telling what happened. So this was a little bit of both a problem and an exciting event for me. The problem was that I ended up in the water. This was also an exciting event because I was falling out of my kayak. Notice I did not say what happened next. I only stated the problem and exciting event because this is what's happening when the volcano erupts. I'm not going to talk about how I solved this problem yet. That's going to be on the downward curve, which we're going to be talking about next time. Right now, we're only focusing on the problem or exciting event. So if you choose to do this graphic organizer, you would write in sentences and complete this sentence starter. Your other choice for today was the conflict map. A conflict is a problem that happens in a story. So this is called a conflict map because you're talking about the problem or exciting event. Notice the difference between the first graphic organizer and the second is that this graphic organizer allows me to write in bullet points. So I was able to make little notes. I did not have to write in full sentences. So in the first heading, it says, what was the problem or exciting event? I wrote, I got in the kayak, tried to paddle. The kayak tipped over. I fell into the water. My brother Max was close by. Then the second column asks, why did this happen? I wrote, it was my first time and I wasn't sure how to paddle the kayak. I got in the kayak too fast. There were waves from nearby boats. So notice I included a lot of detail, but I didn't write it in full sentences like I did on my volcano map. So it's up to you to choose which style would you like to use for today. Do you want to write in full sentences in a volcano map? Or do you want to write notes in the conflict map? You also have the choice of using your writing notebook. So I did both of these examples in my writing notebook. The first example shows the sentence starter, just like in the volcano map, except I wrote it in my notebook instead. So both the volcano map and my notebook say the same thing, just shown a different way. Then I created the conflict map in my notebook as well. So where we have the two headings here, I wrote the two headings and then I wrote my notes below. So you have the choice, friends. If you have a printer, you can print out these graphic organizers, choose which one you want to do, and fill it out right on the graphic organizer. You can also choose to edit the PDF. So some friends know how to add text to a PDF on the computer. You can do that as well and type in your answers. Or if you don't have a printer and you don't want to edit the PDF, you can use your writing notebook and write about your problem or exciting event right here. Don't forget, friends, you have to take a picture of your work and share it with us. We want to see how you're doing and see what's happening in the middle of your story.